Hi,
Right.
I'm not hearing you. Try again.
Now
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Second.
All right.
Okay. We're up to on screen. Okay, so we're up to what base on above section base on screen, which in the printed book is page Lamed Hey. Actually Lamed down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Uh, no, top of Lamed Hey on top. But I guess it depends how you parse the sentence. The
Yeah.
sentence that's parsed in the book is parsed differently than it's parsed on the screen. So I'll just follow the screen parsing. Below have a chamin or Rishon the custom midam. None of the Rishon wrote anything. Ad Sof Yomei Rabbein Yom Rabbeinu Hakadosh. So he says here on the bottom of the printed version. Ad Sof Mecham Daniel Amaroim. Tirgamnu apinusach nuschenu hamishubach. גם כתב יד על צדיק שבשו נחשב כשבח יחסיס, יומי דרבנן. Finusa says Shitas Rabbi Shira Gaon Hina, according to this opinion that Yomei Rabbanan means the days of all the rabbis. Nothing was written from the literature of Chazal to the Tkufa Rabbanan Savurai who came after Amoraim. Tato Zehei for the Tato Sharash Vacherim. His opinion is identical to that of Rashi and others. That despite the fact that the Hetzit to write Teresh Baper appears in the Gemara Gittin, Taf Samech, it was not written down. In some of the versions, there is a nusach Sof Yomei the Rabbeinu to the end of the day of Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi. Pinusach said, going to listen to Shita Sosham Shirgon Ki Rakat Sof Yomei Rebbe Lokas Udabar, only until the end of the days of Rebbe they didn't write anything. Different opinions as to what the proper nusach is. But in the not too distant past, so commandments to me was named. There was a unanimity of opinions. Then the version, the days of Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi reflects the original version. But in later times, more recent times, Nishalam Dazu. This opinion has been rejected. I think correctly. This is one of the definitive piece of evidence is Rabbeinu Stam. He never calls him Rabbeinu generically. It's Slohaim, Ach V'Rak Rabbeinu Kadosh or Rebbe. Okay, so therefore, therefore it seems that nothing was written, according to his opinion, nothing was written until much later on. He goes into in the screen version. He goes into a long discussion of the word midam, what midam is, which really misses the point. Okay, who cares?
So this is rather a stunning statement because you're always taught that Rebbe wrote the Mishnah, wrote the Mishnah, and that the Gemara was written by the Amoraim, right?
Right.
So that's sort of a shocker kind of a statement.
So he goes. So that's why he in the text, the screen version goes with the version below the custom midam ad sof yomei Rabbeinu Hakadosh.
Yeah.
He has Rabbeinu Hakadosh,
right?
Which I don't know where he got Hakadosh from, because Rabbi Rabbeinu with his whole contention is that the word Rabbein HaKadosh does not appear in the in his variants. He does not have the word Kadosh either.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's why the screen text really, the screen version just ignores the whole issue because he just goes against Rabbeinu HaKadosh. And he goes against Rabbeinu and presumably adds the word HaKadosh. Okay, so so let's go with the text version for a moment. It says Lake Chazamidam, nobody wrote anything down. Kol Ikar, or at all. Below Nami pe echad. Veloshin Havod Echad Garsi Rabbanan. And also, the Chachami did not have all one version of Elatame Davi Yadi Lahun, but they knew the reasons for the halacha. In other words, they didn't have the same version of how the halacha was given, but they knew what the halacha were concerned. At time they das achas bahon, and they all had one opinion. But might ise divra kol, as to what was universally accepted. Might ise plukta, what was a machlokus. Might ise yochid, what individual shitas were. Might ise right, what the sheet of the masses were. V'lav advarim b'tukanim. Mishnah Yedua Shekol Shon Pe'achad. There was no specific fixed version of Mishnah. El Osan Tamim, but those reasons, those logic they do. Ava B'Shachamim Kulam Shavim Bohen. They did, even though they knew all the time Halacha. Kol Echad VeEchad Mishan Talmid of Eze Derech Shirtza. Everybody would teach to a student any way you want it. Yesh. Sh'oches der ksara. Some did it short. Kedarmin Mishnah Sabilezer ben Yaakov Kavanaki. He did things in a very terse way. V'min lo mishana hamid of der ksara. Person should always to teach a person in a terse way. The Tanu Klalos, and those who taught in general principles, is the Protin, and those who taught the details, Muravkin and expanded, Upashtin and extended, Doime, various different analogies, Kolchan Michai Rabbanan Tani Kida Asne Rabbe. Each one you would say it as his Rebbe taught him. Okay, so let's see how he does in the text here and in the screen text. So obviously until the days of Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi, according to him. No, so he said, but the Tamai of Yadon, Bekulun Das Achas Havasbon, the Lovas Sayu Plukta. Lovas Sayu Plukta. This is not something which he
they didn't disagree in how they taught it.
Yeah, but that's not what he said before. Before he said in the text that they knew what was a machlekes.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's next time. Yeah, they might easily be called might easily plukta, might easily yochid, might easily rabbi. The lawyer did betukanim mishayidush koshen was about peh echad of lashon echad. Okay, that's obviously that's what we learned. So we said, let's go word here. Ella oysa timing. Going too far here. Went too far up. Oysa time. Yeshua sheyodim. Abishachim b'kulam ayu shavim b'hem. Okay, he seems to say more or less the same thing. So he says, "Yeah, Tamim, so that's an interesting thing. The way he learns the word Tamim is like very Yerushalmidic. When Yerushalmi uses the language my timer, it's not the logic. It's referring to the pasuk. what's the basis in the pasuk of the halacha. So the way he's understanding it also is very Yerushalmi-dik. Like I said, it's the tamim, according to this, means the sources. And the psukim, they all knew. Okay. And then he brings down, of course, that the Kavanoki is he says your Kav the Ketana Bears Rashi Kavanoki Kav mida Ketana Klamar Komas Muatim Niska Mishnah Brisa Vanoki Komakom Shniska Lachuk Moisa. It's well known that Kav is understood to be a gematria of 102. And Rabbi Elazar Yaakov was mentioned 102 times in the Mishnah, and always looks like him. Arbein Eren Farsh Kain, he does explain that way. El Kab Perush Alosh and Ktsara. Klamar Yoshen Talmid of his Tersh Bapeh, but there Ktsara. You would teach in a terse way. Okay. So then there were, he gives examples of Klalim and Pratim. Konashiesh Shoshona Akol Shechtim Shchitasim Shera. And Shoshona Klolos, Shomar Hako. Well, Priyash Mi Mako. And the Gemara, of course, asks who they are. And Shoshona Kol Shechtim Afili So Mumar. So the Harakamar Ashi Gemara, there's several versions of the Gemara there, what exactly means. And Shoshona Pratim. Lo Shona El Prat Echot. So Mumar. You have to extrapolate from one detail to the other details. And according to that, as versions so some people just learn the cloud. Some people learn the cloud and one example. Some people learn the cloud and numerous examples of the cloud. Right? He's embarking on Babshani Salosh, right? It's the same Shua Bein Mechim as the Talmud Ligav Atzmo. They don't allow the Talmud to toil himself. But rather they just say it over as they in great detail and don't leave the Talmud in place to make mistakes. Okay. I don't think there's any notes here, which we have to see. For the notes, you have to see. Anyway, so again, this Machlekes is who wrote it down. That's a major Machlekes. Let's take it from here in the printed text by number 236, which is over here. The Kol Chad V'Chad on the screen. Each one learned as Rabbi taught him. It says Chai Bon Mishanas Bosh and Rabbo. Hai Maktim L'Chai Milsa by Machelo. This would say this thing first. That would say that. That would say it later. Hai Kait Lishnei. This one would say abbreviated. The Hai Marvachle. And this one would expand it. It's more or less the same in the printed text as well. In the rabbinical text. V'Hisnami Man the Rabbi Yochid. And the Amar Milsa, and there's some people who their Rebbe was an individual said something, Tani Lebestama, and they would say it as a stam, even though it wasn't the masses. Avagav Yodiyale to Yochidu, even though he knew it was an individual. Ramina Chai Lomar Blushon Rabbo. That doesn't mean. Rabbi Marlo Ani Omer Kach El Marlo Kachi Alocha. Rabbi Time Shlo Bestama Lo Prius to plenty Rabbi Omer Lo Kain. Yeah. Okay. In other words, his Rebbe said it as a Stam Alocha. So he says Stam Alocha, even though it was not really a Stam Alocha. Bigamad the Maste Mind him Starbele Chada Ki Haitana B'Chada Ki Haitana. And those who say what they thought made sense, even though it was taking different opinions. And that's why we have very often the Gemara says about a Mishnah, Tavra, Mishnah Shona Zeh, Lo Shona Zeh. Beginning of the Mishnah is one Tana, and then the Mishnah is another Tana. Because as it says here, Mitchila Kishlam Mishnah and near Lo Katana plenty. So I say you got to say so say Bechazabo. Near Lo Dana Lo goes to Tana, Kvar Plukte. So say Kavasay, Barisha Shaka Moshe Shnok Tchila. Right, and that's he says as a result, Umishum Hachin. We push more. I money right plenty you. They say, who's this Tana? Rabbi so even though it was a star Mishnah. Man title to Rabbanan. Come on, Tana. Right? I mean, I'm account do thing. We should show us like I just said at the beginning of Shrei Sefer. It's not necessarily the same. Dakdina Mastisa b'milsa umilsa minei, and they infer from the Mishnah each section separately. Yeresh b'chatana v'sei v'chatana. They say Yeresh was one tana, and say was other tana. Mastisa kulu mikarim brisa, b'tar the T-rates Rabbi Bryce, the Mastisa Dilona. They're all called Bryce after Rebbe separated our Mishnah. The rabbinical text is very different. It says the page line Anach Mishnos who have a Brysa, Tartar Rabbi Mastisa delay. Okay, so these are all Bryces after, well, maybe it means the same thing. I guess after Rebbe separated out his Mishnah, then the rest was left as Brysa. Let's see what it says here. But it says here in the Burim on page 5 Ches. Five Maminas Katana Acha Besovic Dina Acha near she ain't a fail Shemashem Rabbi Shir Gon Leo. It's not a redundancy of that we say before. Sharmi Misha Shanazu Lo Shanazu. This we said this say this. Mishum Shama Kavan Lakach Shakashorim Mishnah Achas Mishnah Achas. Stayed where I'm associating. They say in one Mishnah two things contradict themselves. There's no machlokes about this. Only about Kochenim Mukebet Shita Shnei Chachamim. Must see it includes the sheet of two different Chachamim. Kol Shehem Shechoku B'zeh. You can't go much by in Mishnah Achas. Nishtana Tchilasa Yeshita Tani Yadua V'Shayvik Yeshita Tani Yadua. The first case is where we don't know the machlekes, and then we have to figure out who that there's a machlekes. I guess we do know there's a machlekes, and we say that the Mishnah is going like one and same for the other. Okay, maybe I don't know. It's not that particularly. I don't see much of a difference, but anyway. So Bryce he says, Lalan picked out Amunun Hey. It's going to get into it later. There, expands to what he says about these Bryces. Milvad Bryces Elu, Yasuno social Bryces, Amachaber, Lalan Perk Vav, Hamuskar, Lalan Perk Vav, Amud Pay Testing. Such that you sure go, you Bryce Conmul El Shebachir Rabbi Yosha, Baduk. So these Bryces are separate than the Bryces of the Bryces of the Iggeres and Rabbi Yosha. Iggeres, a compilation of all the Bryces, not which were left out by Rebbe from the Mishnayos, but additional Masoras. They're initially Bryces Rebbe distilled to make the Mishnayos, and then there are Bryces which left left later on. The thing is that according to the version we have that Rabbi Rabinowitz has, that none of this was clarified till the Amoraim, so I'm not sure Rabbi clarified.
Okay.
That's something which we have to figure out because, okay, so what did Rabbi do?
So then who did it? Yeah.
Yeah. He says, Rebbe did something, but it's not clear what. So evidently, according to, I'm just hypothesizing, maybe later on it's going to explain it. Evidently, he's saying that Rebbe did make some order, but that order was tentative until the Rabbanan Savurai actually etched it in stone when they put everything down in writing.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if that's true. But he certainly said Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi did something. But this is the convention. If you take a look here in the screen text, this is convention way of understanding it. אחר שבחנו רבי חברוסו את כל ברייסה, לקחו מהם את מה שנראה להם, הכניסו למשנה, כל מה שנשאר ולא נכנס בינו למשנה נקרא ברייסה. לשון חוץ, extraneous, כמו חייס בר, סוס בר, like a wild animal, a wild horse. חיים בערביס, בר היינו חוץ. Okay, besides the third segment, Chashi Devi share Rabbi as a Mishnah Shalom. So that's conventional understanding, according to what according to what, however, according to the version of Rabbi Benowitz, it still remains unclear how exactly what he did. What he's it seems that this is going to be clarified in the next section.
Okay.
Okay, so we leave that for next time if you like.
Okay.
Up to you.
So in the printed, it's where it says, "V'keim dechazer Rebbe deika shinuya kulei hai b'tinuya Rabbanan, etc., etc." Right?
Were you reading it? What page?
At the last line in Lamed Tet. That's where we are.
No, last line on the Ches.
Last line in Lamed Ches.
Yeah, we didn't read the how many commit flusses, right? No, last one.
Mishnayos kulei havian bratot butter to
I
target.
tried telling my CC Lana. That's what we're up to.
Okay.
Okay. Bob Armory Kamoy. This he's going to explain what Rebbe did. And I assume everybody's going to agree that this is what Rebbe did in the next paragraph. So from Bob Armory. We'll do it now. We can wait till next week.
Okay. Well, next week is fine.
Okay, fine. So last line. Okay, here it's a break. He has a whole he goes into the long drasha with his he said himself it's up to Gimel on screen.
Yeah, I mean he breaks it out very differently than
Right.
than Rabinowitz does.
Right.
And I guess when you're working from a manuscript, it's nothing but straight words. You can do
right. You can do whatever you want. That's right. Absolutely. Okay. Very good. Okay, we'll take it from there. Shkoyach.
stuff.
Have a good week.
Bye.